Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Viseart Paris Grande Pro Volume 3 palette. And before I forget, just a quick one. On my the lashes I've got on is the Eye Lock Pre-Glued lashes, and also I've got Color Pop lipsticks and Popping. I'm not sure if this is still available on their website, but that's what I've got on my lips, just in case I forget in the tutorial. Like I said, we will be using the Viseart Paris Grande Pro Volume 3 palette. This is an all matte palette and it's quite a colorful one. It's really not for the faint-hearted. So this is what it looks like. And it's a really beautiful palette. That is what we'll be using today. I mainly use that column and one or two shades from this one. This palette layers on the eyes beautifully. It layers from the lightest shade to the darkest shade without patchiness, without fading. Beautifully, it literally beautifully lays on top of one another, and as you will see in the tutorial. So let's just get right into it so you can see it in action. Okay, so I've gone ahead and done one eye off camera, and I've also primed my second eye. And as mentioned, this is the palette, and I'm mostly going to use these two columns, which are the green one. And let's get right into it. So going on to the lightest color that I want in the front for now anyway, and I'm just putting that right in my inner corner. And I'm pressing down, not swiping. That's just the method I prefer because it's just easier for me to blend it out rather than spend minutes trying to blend out a shade. And that's what I'm doing. So now that that's nicely laid, I'm going on to another shade of green. So I'm now moving on to this particular shade of green. I mean, there isn't much difference, just a slight kind of like greener than the first one I laid down. I'm going back to the first shade I put just to make sure that I can still see that shade right there. Okay, now I'm moving on to the shade that is mainly on my lid, and is that one. And I'm using like a big massive brush really, because I know I'm going to lay it down everywhere else. So that's what I'm doing. So starting from the side. If you can't be careful with this kind of brush, then please use a smaller brush. But because I know I'm laying it down all over my lid, it's just going to be quicker for me. To finesse the side, just to make it neater, I'm going to a smaller brush. And I'm going to bring it down on my lower lid as well. Okay, I'm now going to lay down a lighter shade in the front. So I'm going to go for this minty kind of green here, and I'm going to lay down on the top part of my inner corner. See how bright and vibrant this shade is. And I didn't use a white base. I used a normal base like I would normally use my P. Louise base. Alright, so that's the mint, and I'm now turning it on the other side, and I'm gonna go with this yellowish kind of green, and I want that in the front on top of my nice. Alright, so now that all that is laid down, I'm now going to start darkening the outer corner. For that, I'm going to go with a flat brush. So I'm going with this beautiful green right here. And I'm first of all going to layer that down on my inner corner, on my outer corner. So how beautiful that shade is. Okay, I'm now going to start blending out the edge, and for that I'm going to use like a fluffy brush, and I'm going to go into this very light shade here, and it's going to look starkly different, but don't be alarmed. I'm going to kind of like bring the colors, you know, like I've done. I'm going to start bringing the colors back, so it's going to be light. So this is where I now go to the first brush I used for my inner corner, and I'm going to go to that same shade, no, the shade just on top of the one I initially used for my inner corner, and I'm going to bring that right on top of that lightest shade. Then I'm also now going to go to the next darker shade. The next stage is now to go to the darkest color that I actually want on my eye, and it would be this one, the darkest green, and I'm going to use that on my outer edge just to kind of give it a very nice deep grungy green look. And as you can see, there's a difference. Going on to that darkest green, be careful, tap it off. I'm just going to bring it onto my outer edge. Okay, going back into my the color I put in my outer corner here, I'm going to make sure that that color is not lost, so bringing that back and merging it with the dark green. Next thing I'm going to do now is create some sort of very tiny wing, just like I have on the side. It's not really going to be a wing, it's just to kind of like line my lash line for when I put on my false lashes, so that there is no stark difference. So for that I'm going to go into this dark, very dark blue shade, and I'm just going to place it on my lash line just like a wing liner. So I'm going to use a smaller mirror just to see clearly. I'm now going to line my inner corner with a light shade. So I am, for my lower lid, I'm going to go with this light yellow, this one here. That is it, I think. Alright guys, that's the eye is pretty much done, so I'm gonna go and put on my false lashes, my mascara and my lipstick, and I'll be right back to show you what the finished look looks like. Alright guys, I'm back, and this is the finished look. What do we think? It's really beautiful. I can't even begin to imagine having a complete look without a shimmer. This just tells you how good Viseart palettes are. Their mattes are just, they are incomparable to anything on the market right now, in my humble opinion. That's what I think anyway. I mean, to think I could achieve this with an all matte palette is, it's just, it's a good thing. I love it. My take is this is definitely worth investing in, and with Black Friday coming up next month, it might be a good idea to put aside some money and invest in a Viseart palette. But I've never been disappointed in all of their palettes, so I just thought I'll try out this palette today, and I'm hoping to do another look with it. Hopefully I'll be able to get into the reds and the oranges. I really want to get into the red and the oranges. I think it will really be a good look. So that's it guys, that's it for today. I hope you've had a nice time with me, hanging out with me, and you've enjoyed this high look. Let me know what you think about this palette and this look in the comment boxes. If you've enjoyed this tutorial, please give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel for more content. I intend to do a lot of more looks with Viseart this month. And that's it guys, until next time, see you soon.